लितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणि। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome all for Bhagavatam discussion. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, text, sorry, chapter 18, text 15, no? Right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Who is going to read?
Hare Krishna
Shambhu.
Prabhu.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, to me. Canto 1, chapter 18, text 15. Thur nah tat nah bhavan vai bhagavat
Shall I
pradhanah
read, Mataji?
ekanta
Loka?
paraya
Let her
hare
read, no problem.
haritam vishuddham shushrushatam na vidhanotu vidwan. Translation.
Sloka reading time. If you can read synonyms, you'll be able to connect. So first time reading it always helps. Tat naha bhavan vai. Tat no bhava vai bhagavat pradhano. So, because in the synonyms, Prabhupada has broken it and given it. So it becomes easy, practicing it. Okay, go ahead, Mataji, no problem.
Translate.
Bhagavatyatano Mahatamaikantaparayanasya Hare Udaram Charitam Vishuddham Sushrusatam no Vitano tu Vidwan.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Right.
O Sutta Goswami, you are a learned and pure devotee of the Lord, because the personality of Godhead is your chief object of service. Therefore, please describe to us the pastimes of the Lord, which are above all material conception, for we are anxious to receive such messages. Purport. The speaker on the transcendental activities of the Lord should have only one object of worship and service, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the audience for such topics should be anxious to hear about him. When such a combination is possible, namely a qualified speaker and a qualified audience, it is then and there very much congenial to continue discourse on the transcendence. Professional speakers and a materially absorbed audience cannot derive real benefit from such discourses. Professional speakers make a show of Bhagavata Saptaha for the sake of a family maintenance, and the materially disposed audience hears such discourses of Bhagavata Saptaha for some material benefit, namely religiosity, wealth, gratification of the senses, or liberation. Such Bhagavatam discourses are not purified from the contamination of the material qualities, but the discourses between the saints of Naimisharanya and Sri Sutta Goswami are on the transcendental level. There is no motive for material gain. In such discourses, unlimited transcendental pleasure is relished both by the audience and by the speaker, and therefore they can continue the topics for many thousands of years. Now, Bhagavata Saptahas are held for 7 days only, and after finishing the show, both the audience and the speaker become engaged in material activities as usual. They can do so because the speaker is not Bhagavat Pradhana and the audience is not Shushru Satam, as explained above. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now the sages of Naimisharanya, headed by Shanuka Rishi, addressing Sutta Goswami, saying that you are a learned, you are pure devotee, and your object of worship is Supreme Personality Godhead. He is the only objective, no other thing. See, as a practiced devotees, when we address anyone else, we say that yes, he is a better, he is a pure devotee, he is a learned. I am the full number one. I have no idea. I am so fallen. Why we say this? Not just for the lip services. We should have that feeling. Then only the spiritual knowledge can come. The kind of humility will come in that. Otherwise, it will not come. But for others, even though he is in lower, we appreciate his knowledge. We say that yes, you are better off. I am full number one. Supreme Personality Godhead Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself said that when the other sannyasis asked, "You are a young sannyasi, why are you not studying? Why are you roaming on the road chanting Hare Krishna?" Mahaprabhu said, "My Guru Maharaj, my spiritual master told me I am full number one. I cannot understand Vedas, so you better chant." Doesn't mean that he was a fool. He was Supreme Personality Godhead. The point is that the humility point of now the sages are saying that the Sutta Goswami's the object of service is only one, that is Supreme Personality Godhead Sri Krishna. And the hearing his pastimes, his glories, and which are above all the material consumption, which are anxious to receive such messages. So the devotees always want to hear the glories of the pastimes and Krishna. So only when those who hear properly, their spiritual advancement can happen properly. We know the pastime of Rukmini. As a young child, she never met Krishna, but she was always hearing about Krishna's pastime from Narada Muni and other sages. With that, she was completely sold out her heart, only for Krishna, nobody else. So similarly, that we have to hear. When we hear the glories of the particular person, we'll develop appreciation for him. Similarly, we have to hear the Supreme Lord's pastimes. Then only we'll develop appreciation, develop attachment towards him. Then only we can do the devotional service. That's why Prabhupada gives some importance to hearing. Bhagavatam also talks of takshunu. He says, hear now. Otherwise, he'll not. Hear means not just hear and forget it. Here means Shravana, Manana, Patana, Manana. We have to get that into our heart. That is a focused hearing. We have to pay attention. Otherwise, generally, we hear which I want to hear. Like during the discussion also, if somebody talks about, if I want to hear, I will hear. Otherwise, I'll leave. But that's not hearing. I mean, hear from a spiritual master, hear from glories of the Supreme Lord, from realized soul, we have to hear 100%. Each word, each sentence, completely hear. And also, Acharya says that we have to hear such a way that immediately after going out, there's somebody going to ask me the question. So I should repeat. With that focus, I should hear. Otherwise, generally we play the game, right? If there are around 15, 20 people, stand in the round, one person whispers something in one person's ears, and he repeats that to another person. Like that goes, and when it comes back, many times it will be totally different because each one cuts something. That is not the hearing. Hearing is 100% as it is. That's why Srila Prabhupada, when he wrote Bhagavad Gita, also he says, as it is. I'm not added anything, I'm not removed anything. Similarly, we have to hear 100% and with full attention. Prabhupada says that when somebody is so anxious to hear the glories of him, we should be anxious. Anxious means we should always desire. Srila Prabhupada always had these qualities of hearing. And Srila Prabhupada in Grahastha life, when he came to Vrindavan to meet his spiritual master, his Divine Grace, Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. So Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was giving a Bhagavatam class. Prabhupada was sitting there and hearing, whereas other brahmachari sannyasis, they went around for temple darshan. When they came back, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur asked those sannyasis and brahmacharis whether your eye massage is finished. Means that you just went to eye massage, you saw the Lord, but you cannot see the Lord without hearing properly. That too, when your spiritual master is speaking about it, you are roaming around. So that's why here many times happens in the temples also, Bhagavata Saptaha the Bhagavata Katha happening, Bhagavata class happening, people are doing something else. So that is not hearing. Hear means 100% attentive hearing. So Prabhupada talks about there are professional speakers. They may speak so nicely, but that for a money or some remuneration, that is not a speaking, because that is kind of a selling. You cannot sell spiritual knowledge. One of the lecture when Prabhu was mentioning that if somebody collects the money for giving a lecture, he is in the next life will become a scorpion. And it doesn't mean that we cannot take donation. So people take donation temple, but we should not demand. That's the difference. Okay, this is the money, this is how. That shouldn't happen. So that's why professional speakers, Prabhupada continues here saying that professional speakers, they make money, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, that's their part of life. And there is, cheaters also, the cheater also, the both happening. So their motive is material gain. That should not be the case. That's why we should be very careful when you hear in the YouTube, WhatsApp, whom are we hearing? Which background is coming from? Which sampradaya is into? That's the most important. Many times, all of us may be bombarded with all these links. Devotees are sharing it. Sometimes I don't respond because they should not get offended, but we should understand what is their background, which sampradaya are into, or who is their guru. Is he talking authoritatively? Who is guiding him or her? This is what we have to ask. Otherwise, his knowledge or what he is sharing also may be contaminated. We should be very, very careful. Who is checking what he is speaking? That's the most important thing. Especially the Mayavadis will not even know unless we really analyze his background and the intention of his speaking, whether it's Mayavadi or not. That's very, very dangerous. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, hearing from Mayavadi is like drinking the milk touched by the poisonous snake. Milk is milk. We can't make out. The poisonous snake touches, the poison is there. Similarly, scriptures are scriptures, but it comes from the Mayavadi's mouth. It's like coming from a mouth of a poisonous snake. That's why we should be very, very careful, especially the online, we should be very selective. That's why for ISKCON devotees, what Prabhupada has given is enough. Prabhupada has given everything in that. And maybe some of disciples of Prabhupada, that's enough. Don't have to go around because so much is there, Prabhupada lectures and Prabhupada books. If we study that, hear that, we can make our life successful. That's enough. We don't have to Google around so many things. So finally, Prabhupada says Bhagavat Pradhana and Shushutam. So person giving Bhagavatam. So that's the two kinds of Bhagavatam Acharya talks about, book Bhagavatam and person Bhagavatam. Book Bhagavatam is Bhagavatam which we are reading. Person Bhagavatam is the person who understood Bhagavatam and realized in practicing it in his life is person Bhagavatam. So we should hear book Bhagavatam from a person Bhagavatam. So we have multi-benefit, double benefit. We have Bhagavatam plus the association of that devotee. So that's how we have to hear. Okay, we'll read the next sloka. Yeah, 16.
Umashankar Prabhuji has not come, Prabhuji.
Okay, anyone can read, no problem. Maybe put a message in the group. If they are not coming, let them say no so that others are prepared. Okay, go ahead, no problem.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tavai Mahabhagavata Parikshit Yena Pavarka Kyum Adabhya Buddhi Jnanena Vaya Sakis Sabditena Bhaje Kagendra Dvajapada Moolam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: O Suta Goswami, please describe those topics of the Lord by which Maharaja Parikshit, whose intelligence was fixed on liberation, attained the lotus feet of the Lord. Who is the shelter of Garuda, the king of birds? Those topics were vibrated by the son of Vyasa, Srila Sukadeva Goswami. Purport, there is some controversy amongst the students on the path of liberation. Such transcendental students are known as impersonalists and devotees of the Lord. The devotees of the Lord worship the transcendental form of the Lord, whereas the impersonalist meditates upon the glaring effulgence or the bodily rays of the Lord, known as the Brahma Jyoti. Here in this verse, it is said that Maharaja Parikshit attained the lotus feet of the Lord by instructions in knowledge delivered by the son of Vyasadeva, Sri Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami was also an impersonalist in the beginning, as he himself has admitted in the Bhagavatam 2.1.9, but later on, he was attracted by the transcendental pastimes of the Lord and thus became a devotee. Such devotees with perfect knowledge are called Mahabhagavatas or first-class devotees. There are three classes of devotees, namely the Prakrita, uh, Prakrita, Madhyayama, and Mahabhagavata. The Prakrita or third-class devotees are temple worshippers without specific knowledge of the Lord and the Lord's devotees. The Madhyama or the second class devotees knows well the Lord's devotees, the neophytes, and the non-devotees also. But the Mahabhagavata or the first class devotees sees everything in relation with the Lord and the Lord present in everyone's relation. The Mahabhagavata therefore does not make any distinction particularly between a devotee and non-devotee. Maharaja Parikshit was such a Mahabhagavata devotee because he was initiated by a Mahabhagavata devotee, Sukadeva Goswami. He was equally kind even to the personality of Kali, and what to speak of others. So there are many instances in the transcendental histories of the world of an impersonalist who has later become a devotee. But a devotee has never become an impersonalist. This very fact proves that on the transcendental steps, the step occupied by a devotee is higher than the step occupied by an impersonalist. It is also stated in the Bhagavad Gita 12.5 that persons stuck on the impersonal steps undergo more sufferings than achievement of reality. Therefore, knowledge imparted by Sukadeva Goswami unto Maharaja Parikshit helped him attain the service of the Lord. And this stage of perfection is called Apavarga, or the perfect stage of liberation. Simple knowledge of liberation is material knowledge. Actual freedom from material bondage is called liberation. But attainment of the transcendental service of the Lord is called the perfect stage of liberation. Such a stage is attained by knowledge and renunciation. As we have already explained, Bhagavatam 1.2.12 and perfect knowledge as delivered by Srila Sukadeva Goswami results in the attainment of the transcendental service of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Further sages are addressing Sutta Goswami here. O Sutta Goswami, please describe those topics of the Lord by which Maharaj Parikshit, whose intelligence was fixed on a liberation, attained the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of Garuda and the king of birds. These topics were Vyasa, Sukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasa. So the point here is that describe the topics of the Lord which are Maharaj Parikshit heard and whose intelligence was fixed on the liberation. So we know the background story, what happened to Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit was cursed by the Shringi, the Shamika Rishi's son. and to die within 7 days. So immediately after hearing this, Maharaj Parikshit gave up everything. He gave the kingdom to son Janamejaya, and he came back to the bank of Ganga. By the time here this side, Sukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasa, who was in the womb of his mother for 16 years, who were not willing to come out because he was feeling that if I come out, this material world will trap me. So I don't want to come to the material world. But finally, Vyasadeva requested, and as advised by Krishna, Sukadeva Goswami comes out. As soon as he comes out, he started walking. He did not stay at home. So Father Vyasa was running behind him. Oh, my dear son, why, my dear son, wait, where are you going? But he was not looking. Then Vyasadeva sent his some of disciples to narrate some pastimes of the Lord, recite some Bhagavatam sloka. So when they started reciting Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami turned back. Who is this talking about the Lord? He came back and started talking to them. Please tell me more. Who's telling this? Then they said, yeah, here is your father who is narrating. Come back. So that's how he could come back. Of course, later he came to the bank of Ganga, where Parishit Maharaj was there. By the time all the sages had reached, and Sukadeva Goswami was made to sit in the Vyasasana and deliver the question answer session to Parishit Maharaj. So Prabhupada talks about here the controversy. There is the transcendental, like impersonalist or not. We discussed very detailed in the previous discussion also. But Lord is not impersonal, Lord is a person. That's the first point Prabhupada also makes here. And there are people talk about is Brahma Jyoti, that is glaring effulgence. No, we cannot. Krishna, there are nice example given. The sun rays, sun globe and sun rays. This is the understanding of Paramatma understanding, and uh, this one
Bhagwan.
Bhagavan, and one more Paramatma.
Paramatma, Bhagavan, and
No, one more. Right time, forget. Okay. So, Bhagavan understanding the finest, Paramatma in between, and in between one. Anybody?
Brahman, Prabhuji.
Huh?
Brahman.
Brahman. Yes. Brahman, Paramatma, and
And Bhagwan.
Bhagavan. Yes, true. Yeah. So, the Brahmajyoti is not the kind of final. Brahmajyoti is like a sun rays. So somebody talking about Brahmajyoti, Brahman realization, no, that is not Bhagavan realization, okay, but not Brahmajyoti. So Prabhupada talks here saying that the temple worship without specific understanding, there are three levels: Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, or Uttam Adhikari, or Prakrita Bhakta, Madhyam Bhakta, and Mahabhagavata. So the different levels, the devotees worship the Lord, but don't care for devotees. That is where their Kanishta Adhikaris or their Prakrita Bhaktas. So Prabhupada always insisted that devotee should be taken care. There are examples that Prabhupada gave more importance to devotees than the Lord. I think once in New Zealand or Australia, I don't remember. When Prabhupada was sitting in the temple, some devotees came. So at that time, the Bhoga offering was going on. The temple was closed. So after some time, those people were about to leave. Prabhupada told them to hold on and called some brahmacharis and asked, give some prasad. That brahmachari said, Prabhupada, just offering going on, offer is not finished. But that devotee guest who came, he was about to leave. Then he told the brahmachari, open the altar and give them. Means, even though Lord is eating, it's fine. Disturbance Lord is fine, but my devotee should not go without prasadam. The caring for devotee is more important. Lord will be more happy with that. Lord is more happy when his devotee is cared for. Nice example can be for a mother. Even if nobody cares for her, but the child is taken care, mother is happy. Similarly, Krishna is happy when his devotee is taken care. That's why the devotee care, Prabhupada talks about here that is so important. In our congregation also, we have to try our best to care for others as much as possible, and not just doing a bhakti. So that's a kind of a third level. The second level is that they understand both. Third level is that they completely understand and they worship the Supreme Lord. At the same time, they are take care of devotees nicely. They are Mahabhagavat. So they are the first class devotees, or uh, Uttam Adhikaris. So here Prabhupada talks about he is equally kind to even the personality Kali, talking about Parishit Maharaj, who was when Kali wanted to play a place of stay. He gave the place like four things happening, like meat eating, intoxication, gambling, or illicit sex. But when Kali said no, in your kingdom there is no such places, then he gave him a place for where the gold or more wealth is there. So somehow he adjusted. He wanted to give some place to Kali also. Prabhupada also here talks about Parishit Maharaj helped him to attain service of the Lord, and this stage of perfection is called Apavarga, stages of perfection. Simple knowledge of liberation of his material knowledge, actual freedom from the material bondage is called liberation. So liberation doesn't mean that I have to die alone. In the living condition also one can be liberation. Liberation can be a mental status. I'm kind of detached from all the material things. Is a liberated state. That's the state we can reach. Prabhupada here talks about completely renunciation with the knowledge. We cannot renounce something I don't have it. If everything belongs to Lord, how can I renounce? But I have to renounce such a way that with the complete knowledge that belongs to Krishna, nothing belongs to me. So that's the mood in which we have to renounce. In that time, I'll be able to understand who is the cause, who is the reason behind all the activities of the material as well as spiritual world. With this, I'll stop here. Devotees can share their thoughts or comments. Hare Krishna. You want to start? Maybe Asha Mataji can start.
Prabhuji, I understood nothing much today. Thank you for the class, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mariappan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
Text 15. Suta Goswami is a pure devotee of Supreme Lord. Humility is emphasized to reach attentive hearing and transcendental Bhagavatam Saptaha. Focused hearing, remembering, and practice as it is, one must be anxious in hearing. When spiritual master is speaking, one must hear in complete attention. And the professional speakers are after material benefits. We must be careful about motive, intention, and background of the speakers. Spiritual knowledge expressed by Mayavatis, impersonalists, are poisonous. And text 15, Prakruta, Madhyama, and Mahabhagavata, three categories of devotees. And Appavarga are perfect step of liberation, perfect stage of liberation. Sukadeva Goswami, son of Vyasadeva, 16 years in the womb of a mother, and Lord is not imperson but person. Bhagavan, Brahman, and Paramatma. Devotees should be adequately taken care because Lord is happy when devotees are taken care. And Mahabhagavata takes care of devotees and perfectly engage himself in devotional services to Lord. Liberation is a mental status, get detached from all materialistic nature, realizing everything belongs to Supreme Lord. That much I understood, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Bhuvneshwari Mataji, anything want to add?
Nothing, Prabhu.
Okay. Lakshmi Mataji.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Nothing, Prabhuji.
Priya Mataji, anything want to say? Sridevi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Suta Goswami is a pure devotee of the Lord. He is a pure devotee and is a learned sage. His object is worship and service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So all the sages of Naimisharanyam, headed by Saunika Rishi, wants to hear from Suta Goswami the glories and glories of the Lord and Srimad Bhagavatam. So actually, this was in the previous age, but here Prabhupada here explains about the Kali Yuga Bhagavata Saptaha. In Kali Yugam Bhagavata Saptaha means 7 days. It is only for 7 days and it is very much materialistic. In Kali Yuga, the Bhagavata Saptaha happens and the preacher is materialistic and the people who are hearing also materialistic. That means the preacher, he is preaching Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Saptaha for money. And the listeners also, soon after the Saptaha is finished, we are also materialistic. And we are on our own way for material things. So second one, Maharaja Parikshit, his intelligence is fixed on liberation. Actually, what is liberation is detachment from all material bondage is called liberation. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Vidya Prabhu Mataji, another add ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? Vidya Mataji, anything? No?
No. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. No, thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, so anyone?
Prabhuji.
Wo?
Harshita Prabhu.
Sorry, ಕೇಳಿಸಿಲ್ಲ.
Bhuvneshwari.
Yeah, ಹೇಳಿ.
ಪ್ರಭು ಅದೇ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್
ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಮಾತಾಜಿ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಂಪರ್ಸನಲಿಸ್ಟ್.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಜಿ.
ಓಕೆ ಪ್ರಭು.
ಬಾಕಿದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ? ಎನಿಬಡಿ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಕುಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್?
Not very clear, Prabhuji. It's
ಏನು ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ವೀಕ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳಿ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಇಲ್ಲ
ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಮೇಬಿ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ತುಂಬಾ ವೀಕ್ ಇದೆ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾಳೆ ಕೇಳಿ ಮಾತಾಜಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ವಾಂಛಾಕಲ್ಪತರುಭ್ಯಸ್ಯ ಕೃಪಾ ಸಿಂಧುಭ್ಯೋ ಪತಿತಾನಾಂ ಪಾವನೇಭ್ಯೋ ವೈಷ್ಣವೇಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जाय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जाय. See you tomorrow, same time. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
End the meeting.